Okay, so we are about to enter Silverpine Forest. By the way, this is the purple skeletal warhorse that you can get from the mount vendor over there. It's obviously not Rivendare's mount. That's a mount I obviously hope to get. I thought it'd be for a moment a little fitting to use this mount rather than the Warlock mount. Also, I had enough gold pieces, since I could now use my Grand Expedition Yak, to be able to go ahead and just get the a few of the pieces from the Nemesis set, along with the replica staff, or the replica Gul'dan staff. You know, some Warlock, so... So, like I said, welcome to Silverpine. And, yeah. A lot of these things with the blight. Yeah. You'll also notice there is, a Valkyrie there named Agatha. You're also going to notice a few more right up ahead, along with a familiar face. Welcome to Forsaken High Command. Okay, looks like the cutscene's already underway for another player. Darn it, hashtag other players! Yeah, I can tell it's, like, underway at the moment. Gotta hope it ends soon, so... But yes, Garrosh is there. I did hint that Garrosh was going to be involved in the very beginning of this zone. Also, little heads up, Garrosh is actually going to curse at Sylvanas in this cutscene. So if that's something that bothers you, just I think that's the Rivendare mount. Yep, I do like that shade of purple on that one more so than this one. Alright, Garrosh disappeared, so I think the cutscene's over. But more players keep showing up. So at some point, I think it's just going to be a little unavoidable. I think. Because I'm not the only one who's like just arriving in the zone to do this. That guy just showed up, so... Alright. Just to confirm... Whoops. Yep. So right now we've got 2 players here who are using that mount. And I don't have it. I want to get it, but man, it's just a little bit of a pain to keep going through trying to... I like that they added a show character feature here for this, just to see how your character would look on top of the mount. Just to visualize it, imagine it, once you actually get the mount. Okay, I think, yeah, this was not a player. This is actually Sylvanas. I looked at this and went, oh man, someone else that has the mount. And I realized, oh wait, that's Sylvanas. That's not another player. So you'll notice there's a few more Valkyrie here, and they each are named. This is kind of important because of what I mentioned about what happened after the events of Wrath of the Lich King. About how a number of the Valkyrie actually swore their loyalty to Sylvanas now that the Lich King was no longer a thing, and that anytime she died, they would take her place in what we now know as is the Shadowlands instead of the Darkness. So yeah. But we'll be talking to Sylvanas in a bit here. So, but notice also a lot of these human corpses here. If you're wondering why, well, it's on purpose because we're actually about to give a show to the new war chief, Garrosh Hellscream.
Does that better be good?
Ah, most excellent. A new recruit has arrived. There is much to do. Much to do, I say. You're just in time, Sorana Anub. It is Sorana Anub, right? Oh, Yes, that's what the paperwork says. Sorana Nanoob. Alright, where was I? Oh, yes, you're just in time. The war chief should be arriving at any moment to meet with our leader and savior, the Dark Lady herself. Just stand by and be at your best behavior. I expect that when this demonstration is over, we will all receive commendations. Stand by for War Chief Garrosh Hellscream's arrival.
Where is that ogre-headed buffoon?
An appropriate name for him.
Speak of the devil.
This better be important, Sylvanas. You know how I detest this place and its foul stench. Why have you called for me? And more importantly, what are those scourge fiends doing here?
War Chief, so glad you could make it. With the death of the Lich King, many of the more scourge became unemployed. Those fiends, as you so delicately put it, are called Valkyr. They are under my command now. And they are part of the reason that I asked to see you.
Get on with it, Sylvanas!
Very well, War Chief. I have solved the plight of the Forsaken. As a race, we Forsaken are unable to procreate. With the aid of the Valkyr, we are now able to take the corpses of the fallen and create new Forsaken. Agatha, show the War Chief.
What you have done here, Sylvanas, it goes against the laws of nature. Disgusting is the only word I have to describe it.
War Chief, without these new Forsaken, my people would die out. Our hold upon Gilneas and Northern Lordaeron would crumble.
Have you given any thought to what this means, Sylvanas? What difference is there between you and the Lich King now?
Isn't it obvious, War Chief? I serve the Horde.
Watch your clever mouth, bitch! Chromosh, you stay behind and make sure the Banshee Queen is well guarded. I will be expecting a full report when next we meet. Remember, Sylvanas, eventually we all have to stand before our Maker and face judgment. Your day may come sooner than others.
Coming from you, Garrosh, that is hysterical. Okay. So, by the way, that was the curse I was referring to. I kind of drowned it out with my laugh, but I just couldn't help but laugh at that statement from Sylvanas and that reaction. Because alright, we gotta talk about what we just saw. So, let's kind of, like, go back and review some of this. Like I said, kind of a appropriate way to refer to Garrosh. So that, what are these Scourge Fiends doing here? That tells me that he and probably the rest of the Horde were not aware of what transpired between Sylvanas and the Valkyr. So she had to kind of, get him up to speed. It's funny, she's like, with the death of the Lich King, and I'm like, Sylvanas, that you know that's not true, right? With the death of Arthas is probably what you were thinking, but to you, there was no difference. Though what happens in Shadowlands, obviously, but anyways. But it was just hilarious to me that she's like, oh, the death of the Lich King. Which I can only imagine because she was there. She knows it's true that the Lich King is not dead. She knows about what happened between Tyrion and Bolvar. And that Bolvar was the new Lich King. Oh, someone else is doing the cut. Okay, hold on a second.
Hello. This better be important, Sylvanas. You know how I...
Well, that was unexpected. I'm not one to doubt our war chief, but never mind. We have work to do. I'm sure the Dark Lady and the war chief will get this all worked out. The battle over this region still rages, Suran Noob. Although we soundly beat back the Gilnean defenses and took Gilneas for the Horde, a small group of rebels managed to escape the Gilneas Liberation Front, as they called themselves, make attacks of opportunity against our forces in the field. The rebels have had a few minor victories, and now grow brazen in their assaults. The time to strike back is now. Venture south into the wilds of Silverpine and kill any rebel that you cross. We'll talk to Kromash in a moment. I still want to talk about this as long as other players don't interrupt me. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Sylvanas was there at the end of ICC. So, especially because as I showed when I did the Shadowmourne questline, she is there when we finish it, and so she is aware of what transpired. And she was okay with Arthas being dead, because, well, that's the one who did that to her. Not necessarily not the Lich King, because the Lich King had not joined with Death Knight Arthas at that point. It was mainly just Death Knight Arthas. Yes, he was using the power of the Lich King, and then when she became a Banshee, she could hear the Lich King in her head, but it was mainly Death Knight Arthas who was the one who, committed the act against her. So, she fully is aware and knows about what happened, as we then see later on, because she knows about Bolvar becoming the new Lich King. So I imagine when she says the death of the Lich King, she's doing that on purpose because she probably does not want to let Garrosh and some of the others know the truth about what happened at Icecrown. So I think Sylvanas was purposely manipulating Garrosh there. I mean, letting Garrosh know, oh, by the way, the Lich King is still alive. Yeah, I don't think that would have gone over well with Garrosh, especially based on his reaction to what happened here. So she catches him up to speed, and, well, we then get a further look at what has been going on here since we first started the Starter Zone. And what's hilarious about this is that Garrosh is actually disgusted by all this. I bring that up because this is Garrosh. We know what he does later on. What he does, going forward from here onwards through Cataclysm all the way through Pandaria. Garrosh does some pretty horrible things. So, and this is also on demonstration in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. So for Garrosh to be disgusted by this I just find hysterical that this is something that would actually appall him, So, now here's something else I've mentioned before about this. He accuses her of being no different than the Lich King. He has just accused to her face that she is no different than the being who destroyed her life. A being she hates with an absolute passion. I would think I would think Sylvanas would be incredibly insulted by that. And I'm shocked that she didn't have a knee-jerk reaction, given how we've seen her react to other things in the future, like in BFA, when Sourfang, gave her the speech in the cutscene, and then cut her eye, and how she reacted. I'm surprised Sylvanas didn't have a knee-jerk reaction, right back at Garrosh. But instead she just kind of plays with it and goes, oh, isn't it obvious I serve the Horde? Like, she's fine with being accused of being no different than the Lich King. I mean, if I was in her position, I would not have been okay with that accusation. I would have snapped right back at Garrosh, like, how dare you compare me to him? Something like that. But nope, she's just cool with it. I just find that so odd from her. And then, of course, we then see, it wraps up with Garrosh basically having Kromash here. Hey, Kromash. Yeah, you are someone who is also worthy of a /spit. Huh. So this is when he tells us to go to Hillsbrad Foothills. Okay, so we'll be leaving Cromush alone. Because we're not going to be doing Hillsbrad Foothills. It does go along with the main storyline in Cataclysm, but I don't consider it to be a part of the starter zone experience for the Forsaken. Not like this one is.
I'm listening.
In my opinion. Why are we still talking to more of these high apothecaries? Why are they even around? If we had to get this new blight up and running, we will need clean beast guts. The problem is that clean beast guts are a rare commodity in Silverpine Forest. Most of the beasts have succumbed to disease and thus only have diseased organs. Do a sweep of the forested area east of here for wargs and grizzled bears. Kill only the non-diseased variety and rip out their entrails. Bring me all of the clean guts that you can stuff into your backpack. Do I have to? I'm gonna get my backpacks all gross and nasty. I'm gonna have to wash them thoroughly multiple times.
I'm listening.
You have no doubt heard about the incident that transpired at the Wrathgate in Northrend, yes? Due to those unfortunate events, we are strictly forbidden from using the strain of life-shattering blight that we've finally perfected. Now we have rules and regulations and other nonsense. These are scientists who want to do experimentations without any, like, moral compasses or regulations or rules, restraints or anything. Kind of like Moira in Overwatch. What? She even says this. You know, they even discuss this in Overwatch, how Moira was basically wanting to... That's why she joined Blackwatch, because then they let her do experiments without any regulations or morals or any of that. That's what they basically want. They've given us some neutered version of the perfected blight and expect us to weaponize it. If I'm to get this crap functional, I'll need several bags full of ferocious doomweed. You'll find it all over Silverpine.
Victory for Silver.
There's a man frustrated with his work. Or rather, the regulations holding back his work, rather. We got some Worgen renegades around here. But then again, considering how close we are to Gilneas, that's not surprising. Thank you, hero. That's going to be a very central storyline throughout this zone. One of the main storylines in this zone is the conflict between the Forsaken and Gilneas. Horde Hauler. All aboard! Next up, the Sepulchre! Yeah, he goes like all the way down there, I think. We're not gonna bother with that right now. Yes, go. Go, my servant, yes. Hibernate. A bear casts Hibernate. That's kind of funny.
I don't have a target.
By the way, in case you're curious, no, this is not supposed to be a replica of the staff that the original Gul'dan used in the game. This is supposed to be a replica of the staff from the Gul'dan in the Warcraft movie. I always thought you were one for tradition, Blackhand. I know a lot of people have gripes with that movie. And I do, you know, I don't think it's like an amazing, you know, the perfect movie or anything. I've got my issues and problems with that movie as well. But I still really, really liked that movie. Yes, it is true they did change some things in the lore in that film, but that's not very unusual. that's actually something that's usually very common when it comes to these kinds of movie adaptations of video games and such, so. Oh my gosh, there are people chatting in general chat. You know, I should just, get rid of that. Just leave the channels. It's not like it's gonna matter for this character going forward, right? Yes, we shall kill the Gilneans. Actually, whether or not these are Gilneans or feral Worgen, I'm actually not entirely sure. I think these might be some... So we're going to encounter a mix. In this zone, we're going to encounter a mix of Worgens who are part of, you know, the Gilneas forces and Greymane's forces. And then we're going to encounter feral Worgen, which are intelligent to a degree, but for the most part, feral Worgen are basically, you know, and I'll see if I can go over this when we do the Worgen starter zone, when we get to feral Worgen in this series. And I'm looking forward to that. I really, really like that starter zone. I've done that starter zone, like, multiple times. I know it pretty well at this point. So that'll be like a smooth sail experience, or at least it should be. Alright, so now I just have to get 3 more clean beast guts. Alright, where are some clean, uncorrupted beasts that I can kill and disembowel? Yes, I tried to make that sound as awkward and funny as it sounded. A ferocious grizzled bear! Sorry, Yogi.
I need to get closer. I need a target.
21. Just wait, guys. I'll have this character to max level in no time. Wait. I actually do have a Void Elf Warlock that I am wanting to level, not just for the heritage stuff, but I'm actually planning on doing some, like, at least 1 or 2 videos or so having to do with my Void Elf Warlock, since she's the mainly the only other Warlock that I have that's anywhere near close to Legion content, apart from my main one, who is max level. But I've already done that stuff. Where I'm going to try and see if I can actually show the Warlock campaign stuff from Legion. The Class Order Hall campaign, I mean. Because, I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed the start. Not necessarily the entire campaign. The entire campaign was kind of lacking for the Warlock Class Order Hall. But the way it started, and a couple of the art, you know, in fact, all 3. I'm not a huge fan of the Affliction one, but it's fine. And the artifact quest for Demo and Destro, whew, those are awesome. I never showed those. I gotta show those. So I figured that if I'm gonna be leveling my Void Elf Warlock, you know, to do the heritage stuff, while this XP boost is going on, I may as well try and see if I can show some cool content in the process that I didn't get to show before. Need to find 1 more that will actually drop its guts. Gosh, this... Yes, this is what it's like working with the apothecary. I hate it. I hate it when our characters just turn off their brains. A high apothecary, these horrible, horrible people, are like, go disembowel creatures and give me their guts. And I'm just like, dude, okay. Like, our characters just turn our brains off when it comes to these quests. I'm just like, why am I doing this? Oh, right, because we serve the Dark Lady without question. She's so wonderful. Oh. I can see what he was wanting to do. So I got all mine, so don't worry, I won't interfere anymore. He was like, quit killing them. You know, I'm like, sorry. I got all I need. Don't worry about it. I won't be doing that anymore. Serana Noob has returned. Look, my name is Serana. Okay, take the Noob part out. Okay, I'm not a Nerubian. And in one piece, defender of Silverpine, redeemer of the Horde, Serana, your bravery must be rewarded.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Look how horrifying the music in this song sounds.
What will you require?
Remember, I can only use clean beast guts for the new strain of blight that we are developing. Excellent. With these guts and the ferocious doomweed, we'll be able to test our new strain of blight. Now, to select a suitable target.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Oh boy. You can see where this is going.
What now?
Agony abounds, friend. The land itself threatens to devour us, and yet we persist. I wonder why that is. With this doomweed and the guts and gore that Tavine needs, we might have something suitable to send to the Forsaken Front.
Trust no one.
Alright, Tavine.
Yes?
The concoction is finally ready. But before I can put my seal of approval on this strain, we'll need to run a field test. Speak to Bat Handler Maggot Breath here at High Command, and requisition a bat. The bat will take you to the Dawning Isles, east of here across Lordmere Lake, right into the heart of depravity itself, the vile Finn Murloc dens. Use the concoction against the Murlocs and report the results back to me. Those results being that you killed them all, as commanded.
Embrace the shadow.
Oh, yeah. You make me go kill a bunch of Murlocs.
What is it? Embrace the shadow.
You better bring back that bat in one piece, Serana. So I get to bombard this on the Murlocs. Inflicts nature damage to all Murlocs within a 10-yard radius. A blight concoction. There they are. I'm sorry, Murlocs.
It's too far away.
My goodness, how many of these do I have? Of course, it's not kill all of them. It's just kill 50.
I'm out of range.
Those poor Murlocs. Now, after the events of the Wrathgate, I do not believe that this blight is as bad as the one that was used at the Wrathgate. But this is still the blight. Alright, I did your field test. Those poor Murlocs.
I am forsaken.
Potent enough to exterminate 1,000 Murlocs. I think I'll put that on the label. You've done well, Serana, and great work around here gets rewarded.
Dark Lady watch over you.
Hey, there's Health Funnel. That's the ability I was telling you about. So you see how my my buddy is low in health? Be healed, Grimgrave. But what about your health? Oh, don't worry. I've got cookies.
What is it?
Deathstalker Commander Belmont. If I recall, I believe he's going to be important later. Do you know why Mortis appends Nub to your name, Serana? The thought did cross my mind. Because he is an incompetent sycophant that has trouble seeing through his oversized helmet. Nub is your classification. You are now part of the new Undercity Battalion. But enough with the comedy. I sent Deathstalker Yorick on a shadow operation 2 days ago. Her goal was to get information on the Gilneas Liberation Front and return. 3 days, and no word from her. Head southwest to the Ivar patch and look for Yorick, Serana. Are we really about to do a last poor Yorick? Because if so, I think we know how this is going to end for her. This could be pretty bad. Huh. I'm sorry, is she hiding in the porta potty? Is that what I'm seeing here? I knock. Hello? Anybody in there? Belmont gets a little nervous and sends some newbie to look for me. Listen, I've been staking out the old Ivar cottage from inside this outhouse for 3 days. Your presence threatens this whole operation. There's no time to explain. We have to act now, or this mission will be compromised. The Gilneas Liberation Front leader, Darius Crowley, remember him, that name, it'll be important later when we do our Gilnean starting zone, has been meeting with another warden inside this cottage for the past 3 days. I'm not sure what's going on, but we need to get inside the cottage and find a good hiding place from where we can eavesdrop. It's now or never, Undead. We may never get another shot. Just promise me that if I don't make it, you will return to Forsaken High Command and inform Belmont or whatever of whatever we discover. All right. We haven't got much time. Crowley will be arriving shortly. Let's go. I'm sorry, did you say Mr. Crowley will be arriving shortly? Okay. I'm sorry. I had to do it once. Though I'll probably be doing it later when we get to the Gilneas starter zone because it's, it's just too easy. There. Hide in the armoire. I'll hide in the shadows next to you. That's where you're gonna hide. Look, I know you're a rogue, but seriously, these are Worgen. They can smell you. If you just stand right... they could probably smell both of us. But if you just stand there, they're gonna notice you there. I don't think that's the best... Why do I even bother? It's a rogue. They're gonna sit there and stealth the whole... regardless of what I say. There he is. Have you given any more thought to my proposal, Ivar?
Why trust you now, Crowley? You abandoned us, left us to die. If we're to win this war, we will need your help. Our packs must unite. The Forsaken will destroy us otherwise. You are the alpha male, Ivar. The rest of the ferals in Silverpine will do as you command. I don't care about your war, Crowley. But I have seen firsthand what the Forsaken are capable of doing. It is true. They hunt us, slaughter... You're a worgen. There's no such thing as a defenseless worgen. It does not exist. So you will help? I will gather my pack. It would appear that we are being watched, Crowley. You have grown soft, likely Greymane's fault. Treacherous little pup!
Poor Yorick.
What say you now, spy?
I live and die for the Banshee Queen.
I was hoping you'd say that. I will prepare the pack. It will take some time to gather them all, but we will join. For now.
I will obviously be discussing Darius Crowley more when we get to our Gilnean starting zone. Alas, poor Yorick. I'm sorry, Yorick. You were just a soldier doing your duty. Well, let's head back and report what happened. So there's also an interesting insight there into the politics amongst the Worgen. As I mentioned before, there's a mix here. Crowley was obviously representing the Worgen who are under Gilneas and King Greymane. Ivar is basically the alpha male of the feral Worgen throughout this area. And, well, the feral Worgen, as... well, we will find out more about and see when we do the Worgen starting zone. They are intelligent to a degree, but not as much as the Gilnean ones. You know, they're more beasts and such, but still relatively intelligent.
Hello.
And of course he says, "Alas, poor Yorick. I knew her, Serana, an assassin of infinite courage. Now tell me what's going on. What did you and Yorick discover?" Owen, here. He writes it all down. "Deliver this report to Lady Sylvanas Windrunner. It is my assessment of the situation in Silverpine based upon your and Yorick's fieldwork. If we do not stamp out the Worgen insurgents, they will overrun us. The time to act is now." But really quick, I want to mention, the only reason that Ivar and the Ferals are willing to work alongside Crowley and the other Worgen, who they don't like or trust, is because of the Forsaken Apothecary and the things that they've been doing. The horrible things that they've been doing to those Worgen is the only reason they'd be willing to actually work with Crowley and the Worgen. Yeah. Hi, Sylvanas.
I have no time for games.
Kneel before your queen. No, thank you. I am not interested in bending the knee to you. I am, however, interested in spitting on you, because you deserve it. By the way, here's Belmont's report. Crowley, a gnat, an insect waiting to be crushed beneath my boot heel. So he thinks to rouse the feral Worgen of Silverpine? We shall show him and his allies the might of the Forsaken. But first we must clean up the mess made by the War Chief's fleet. Without their aid, we may lose this war. Our reinforcements from Kalimdor arrived last night. 3 orc gunships full of supplies, weapons, and soldiers. 3 orc gunships lost to Bloodfangs. Damned Worgen. How could an entire orc fleet lose to a small band of enemy combatants that lack any siege weaponry? An important question that you will answer for me. Gather your gear and report to the Orc Admiral Hatchet at the Forsaken Rear Guard, southwest of here. Get those orcs operational, Serana. I await your full report. Yeah. Put a sock in it, Sylvanas. By the way, there are 6 main story chapters here in Silverpine Forest. So, that was the first chapter, High Command, letting us know what's going on with Sylvanas, Garrosh, and Darius Crowley. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I was tempted to do the Mr. Crowley thing again. Nope, not going to do it. I'll save it for when we get to the Gilneas starting zone, which won't be for a while. All right. So here's the rear guard. A lot more orcs here. Orc sea dogs. Lots of sea dogs here. Wait, hold on.
Who is not drunk, Torok? Including me?
Yes.
Well, let's see. By my count, nobody. The whole crew's drunk out of their gourds, Admiral, except the sea pups. Hey, over there! Hey, over there! How's everything going? Hey, stop bothering me, you're a disgrace to us all. You can't even hold on to your own pet. What? Where's my pet? It's gone! No need to panic, just a quick drink and I can figure out where he went to.
Got a bunch of drunk orcs here. They're all drunk. Oh gosh, no wonder this place is struggling with its operations.
Trust no one.
Hearthstone here. And, well, we'll do what we can to help out what's going on here when we return. Stay tuned.